Watch the production process of the ink fountain. Finally understood. Why did Liu Ban insist on inventing this tool? Just a measuring ink fountain. Azure Dragon and White Tiger. Suzaku and Xuanwu. It is also known as one of the 28 constellation weapons. These are the 3 magic weapons that carpenters always have. Even English books should always be by your side. There is a hidden secret that the world has never known. Today we will visit a local century-old carpenter family. Reveal the past and present of the ink fountain in detail. The first step in making an ink fountain. First, take out the cypress that has been air-dried for 5 years. Cut vertically. Split it in 2. Then move to the grinder. Fix the 2 ends of the furniture with. Then start from one side and slowly cut to the right. Since the wood has been dehydrated for many years, it is very easy to cut. Just a moment before and after, the surface shows obvious patterns. The shape also looks more three-dimensional. Here, the tofu is formed. Enter the second process to make the groove wheel. Because of its wheel-like shape, it is also called the ink bucket wooden wheel. In fact, the ink fountain has a history of more than 2,000 years. In the early days, it was known as the city of pine and 100 trees. The carpenter's love for him is like a belief. Even the ancients once regarded it as a symbol of gods, used to ward off evil. For example, in Uncle Ying's movie, often use barking blood and the blood that makes you cry is matched with the ink fountain, to defeat those who don't sleep well. People who jump around for no reason. The ancients believed the ink fountain can cut things and measure things, especially the main beam of the house. The black line can measure the righteousness of heaven and earth. Since ancient times, evil has never prevailed over good. So people also use the ink fountain, give it a beautiful meaning. The Song Dynasty poet Qin Xiaoyu also wrote to Su Shi, wrote a poem like this. I have a room, half-room rental and the wheel-turning king, sometimes a ray of light. The evil spirits in the world dare not fight. This shows that at that time, the whole place was made of bamboo shoots and mortise structures. The role of the ink fountain cannot be underestimated. In the blink of an eye, I saw Hishin for the first time. Let's start carving the turtle. First, hollow out the bottom of the turtle. Let it separate, make it more three-dimensional. Then I took out the carving knife and started carving the turtle shell. Careful friends should have discovered something. This turtle is not even as long as your finger. The texture of the turtle's legs is only the size of a grain of rice. Every cut must be just right. Once you push too deep, the wood will have extra cracks. This piece of material is wasted. So I don't have 10 or 8 years of experience. It is difficult to carve so finely and carefully, especially the eyes. Only by rotating. Make the wood show the uneven texture. Move to the front and start drilling. This hole is used to fix the position of the wooden wheel. Punch a round hole on the left and right, with the help of machinery. Every step here looks simple. But at that time, this can only be cut and polished by hand little by little. The difficulty can be imagined. Now start carving the eyes. This is also called the finishing touch in the ink fountain. Now let's see how he did it. The old man kept carving on both sides. Just a moment. At the bottom, huge eyes appeared. Then use a pencil. Draw a layer of text at the bottom to represent the meaning. Then use a carving knife to carve out the specific outline of the text. Can you believe it? These troops are led by this old man who is nearly 80 years old. Completed by myself. Next, let's take a look at the text after engraving. Do you know these 4 words? I can only vaguely see a mirror. Then put a rubber part in the middle, so that the ink line can be shuttled more easily. Get your brush ready. Start painting. This is a wood protective paint, somewhat similar to varnish. After applying, it can make the surface brighter. It can also play a role in waterproofing and mildew-proofing to a certain extent. Use a rag to wipe the surface clean. Let it dry naturally for 24 hours. After solidification, The surface of the ink fountain emits dark retro color. Looks more like an old piece of wood. Tested. The wooden wheel spins easily. No leg at all. This proves that the carving was very successful. Let's take a look at the details of the ink fountain below. The lively little snake is paired with a turtle. That is the famous mythical beast in Chinese mythology. At last, let's see how this thing should be used. First, tie the ink lead to the ink line. Use a ruler to mark both ends of the wood to facilitate stretching, to make the ink line straighter. In fact, Lu Ben not only invented the ink fountain, also invented the axe and the oil lamp, sentences, umbrellas and many other categories. Therefore, he is also affectionately called the Grandmaster by carpenters. But the most mysterious. I still want to read this book written by Lu Ben. This is the first strange book Lu Ben Jing. It was also called Missing One Door by the ancients. Do you know why he said there was a missing door? What are the uses of ink fountain?